Hello, good morning. My name is Patricia. I'm a teacher at the English Studies Center, C65. Good morning to everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be with you today. Let me tell you something about the C.U.P.E.I. What is the C.U.P.E.I? It is the only tertiary institution in town, it's official, where students can reach their last stage in their preparation. This is the advanced level. All students, when they start their studies, they start preliminary level, elementary level, and they all would like to reach the advanced level. However, very few do so. Very few students really reach the advanced level. Very few students can understand English at normal speed, and they are sometimes they find it very difficult to understand native speakers at normal speed. Well, this is why we are doing this, because we would like you to be proficient in your listening skills, to be good at listening. And listening skills is one of those skills that students have sometimes very little practice in. They are used to doing a lot of writing, a lot of reading, and they do, of course, pay attention to reading and writing, but they pay less attention to speaking, and they pay the least attention to listening. If there isn't a good listening, there will never be a good speaking. If you want to speak English like a native does, it is absolutely necessary to listen to authentic English at normal speed. Our courses at the C.E.I. are really advanced. We specialize in advanced courses. Our courses are a must, and they are run by highly experienced lenguas vivas and profesorado teachers, as well as native speakers from England and from USA. And they are a path to success. We would like to give you some practice in listening here. So this is why I have decided to record some texts for you to listen to. These texts will be very useful for the University of Buenos Aires trainees, those trainees who would like to start their translation careers at university, who would like to become translators, public translators, I mean. These texts will be really useful to them, and also to the lenguas vivas and profesorado students. Sometimes when they take their exams, when they sit for their exams, they are not required to do listening. But we at the Institute insist on their doing listening practice, because they will certainly need it when they start studying their subjects, especially language 1 and lab 1 and phonetics 1. And also phonetics 2 and language 2 for that matter, right? These texts are going to be useful. Also, we have interpreting students in mind. Well, what must they do? They must pay special attention to these listening texts, since without these listening texts, they will not be able to do their job in the future. So, what must admission students seek? They must seek full comprehension of the topic, main ideas, and then they must write them down. These texts are 180 to 150 words long, and you must listen to them and write them down. You listen to them only twice. At university, the texts will be read out to you only twice, and you must not cheat, right? Now, of course, if you are studying, you are preparing, and you want to listen to them more than twice, you can do so. That goes without saying. But for the purposes of your exams, it is necessary to listen to them only twice. So do not listen to them 3 times or 4 or more. And interpreting students can hear them only once. Remember, only once. Well, let's go ahead. The topics I have selected for these listenings, they are general interest topics. The first one, I don't want to give it a title. I would like you to listen and to provide a title. Okay, off we go. Text 1. Without advertising, the price of a jar of honey could really sting you. It is basic economics. The more people know about a product, the more likely they are to buy it. The more product you sell, the less you have to charge it, and these two keep the wheel of industry turning, which in turn keeps society going. So far, so good. Viewed in this way, advertising is the medium that brings the message to those millions who are called the buyers. And so the cycle is set in motion. However, there is no more than the ABC story that we are likely to find in a theory book, or in a book advertising for that matter. There is a grimmer side to it that is not often heard of or mentioned, perhaps because it just will not sell. The truth is that we often buy simply what we did not intend to buy in the first place, or else that which we just did not need at all. Only that it looked so good in the ad. And there it is. The unwanted object has installed in our living room, or in our kitchen, or simply wherever and mercilessly reminds us, like staring at us in our faces, that we have spent the money we so earnestly and fervently wish to save. To our dismay, we realize we have, once more, fallen victim to our consumer society's whims. Well, I hope you liked this topic. You have to tell me the topic, right? Give it a title. This second one, text, which I would like you to send me, of course, all of you who would like to have a correction. Well, our students at the Institute, they do this in every class, and we teachers correct them, right? But if you want to ask questions, you can or direct your questions through our webpage. The webpage is www.centroingles.com.ar. Well, the second text is about environmental issues. And the title is Vicious Cycles. It starts. The debate over whether Earth is warming up is over. Now we are learning that climate disruptions feed off one another in accelerating spirals of destruction. Scientists fear we may be approaching the point of no return. Burning fossil fuels releases carbon, and we are fueling the fire. The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is climbing fast. Most of it comes from burning fuels for energy, gasoline in cars or coal for electricity, for example. The US, with less than 5% of the world's population, produces 1/4 of all the greenhouse gases. We are spreading the pain because deforestation through clear cutting or burning sows havoc beyond the affected area. The fires release still more carbon into the atmosphere. Fewer plants survive to convert CO2 into oxygen, and scorched soil absorbs more heat and retains less water, increasing droughts. What is the greenhouse effect? Without the greenhouse effect, life on Earth would not be possible. Energy from the sun is absorbed by the planet and radiated back out as heat. Atmospheric gases like carbon dioxide trap that heat and keep it from leaking into space. That's what keeps us warm at night. But as humans pour ever increasing amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, more of the sun's heat gets trapped and the planet gets a fever. Washing ashore. The ice at the North Pole is floating, so as it melts, the sea level won't change much. But the massive ice sheets over Antarctica and Greenland are another story. If both melted completely, sea levels could rise nearly 220 feet. That means 72 meters. That's a worst-case scenario. But the melting is accelerating and sea levels are projected to rise gradually, threatening low-lying communities. Buenos Aires might be at risk. We are a low-lying community, right, here in Buenos Aires. Okay, this is about 220 words. Another topic. The title of this passage is A Stroke for Stem Cells. Not everything is COVID, right? Not everything is COVID, the text says. The brain becomes a target in stem cell clinical trials. The first stem cell therapy targeting a major brain disorder, chronic stroke, could begin clinical trials this year if the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approves the request filed in December by stem cell firm Newton Guildford in England. This latest treatment suggests stem cell therapies are growing, not only in number, but in ambition. Chronic stroke, in which patients suffer from permanent infirmity, is the leading cause of adult disability in the developed world. It afflicts 25 million people worldwide, and the number of new cases is rising 7% annually, mostly because of an aging population. Right now, there's next to nothing for treating chronic stroke, and what there is addresses the symptoms rather than the cause. Stem cells have the potential to regenerate body parts. In prior stroke studies on animals, stem cells injected into the brain or bloodstream migrated to sites of damage, apparently drawn by signals from damaged cells. This migration may happen because the repair pathways initiated by the damaged cells are similar to pathways triggered during embryonic development, where stem cells are key, explains Newton co-founder and Chief Scientific Officer John Snyder. Well, I hope perhaps this last passage, it's a bit more, as it has to do with medicine, might be a little bit more difficult for you. So if you need to listen to it 3 times, please do so, right? We don't intend these passages to have difficult words. Here the problem, by all means, by no means, I mean, is vocabulary a difficulty here. You must only be acquainted with the topics, and this requires some reading. You must read about current issues, be updated. So this is just like being updated with the latest topics. In other passages, in other videos, I will be reading out to you topics connected with lockdowns and COVID and the vaccine. There are a lot of articles that deserve, that should be read by you, by students, because, of course, they might be used by your teachers at university. Definitely they will be used, so it might be interesting for you to listen to them, listen to those texts, or hear about those topics. Please write to us if you want to suggest any idea, or all your ideas are welcome. We just definitely need to know what you need. So please write to us, okay? Remember, www.centroingles.com.ar, and on Facebook we are at Centro de Estudios Ingleses and Ingresos en Profesorados y Traductorados. Okay, see you next time, and I hope you have enjoyed listening about or hearing about these topics. Pleased to have been with you. See you.